What's up, everybody? I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA. If you are in a band, if you've got a clothing company, if you are selling your art, if you got anything that you're trying to promote online, then you want to watch this video because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get out my little crystal ball and I am going to tell you the future of online marketing for DIY creators and business owners like me and like you. So before I get into this real quick, just for any of you guys that don't know me, I also do some freelance marketing for some bands like Issues, Periphery, A Day to Remember, Intervals, Self-Help Fest, and some other stuff. I do this shit every day. I'm going to tell you the trends that I'm seeing when I do this every day so that you can help be prepared for what I think is coming next. So basically the big headline here is Facebook has some big fucking problems. Last week they lost $120 billion in market cap. And that's how serious these problems are. For example, you, I'm sure, have heard about all the stuff with Russia buying ads on the platform that may have influenced the elections. You may have heard about their scandal where they allowed a company called Cambridge Analytica to access some user data that they were not supposed to access. So you've heard about those big scandals, but also because there's like 1.5 billion or 2 billion people or something on Facebook, their growth has kind of slowed down. So these are the things that these investors are concerned about. And you know, I'm concerned about that too. And there's a lot of other like super nerdy shit, like they're running out of ad space to sell and stuff like that. But all that stuff, that's not really what I'm concerned about because they'll figure that stuff out. What I'm concerned about, and what you guys should be concerned about too, is what will happen to Facebook in the next 3 or 5 years. Because as I'm sure you guys know, young people, like really young people, like teenagers, are really, they're not on Facebook. Or if they are on Facebook, they have an account, but they don't really use it. Facebook now is for old people like me. And so the problem there is like, yeah, now Facebook works fine, but what about in 5 years from now? Is Facebook just gonna be for the old people? Well, that's a problem unless you sell like denture cream or, you know, adult diapers or whatever it is. Unless you sell something for older people, that's a big problem. It's a huge problem for Facebook, but it's also a problem for us because in order to sell tickets to your shows, in order to sell like shirts, in order to promote your art, whatever it is that you want to do, if younger people aren't on Facebook, well, then you can't reach them with your marketing, right? And that's a problem because Facebook is hands down the best marketing platform that there ever has been in the history of humanity. It is amazing. And if you guys are interested in kind of the nuts and bolts of how to use Facebook ads, I have 2 articles on that on my blog, which I'll link to in the comments here. One is just a general overview of how to use Facebook ads if you're like a DIY marketer like you and me. The second one is about how to promote a tour on Facebook. So if you are in a band and you've got an upcoming run of shows that you want to promote, this article shows exactly how I've done it for A Day to Remember and Issues and Self-Help Fest and Periphery, a bunch of other bands. So both of those are in the description if you want to read them. So anyway, getting back to my original point, the young people are not on Facebook. They're not using it like they did. So the question is, where are they going? Well, the good news is they're going to Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. That's good for Facebook as a company, but it's also good for us because that means we can market to them using the same tools that you do on Facebook. Like if you've never run an Instagram ad before, it's really easy. Basically in the Facebook ad interface, you just check a little box that says run this ad on Instagram and it's as easy as that. That's good for you because the Facebook targeting capabilities are amazing. Like they're better than anything else anyone has ever made. That's because they spy on all of us, which is one of the big problems that they have as a company. So that brings me to my next point, which is what is the future of Instagram? So right now, Instagram's fucking awesome. It's great. Everybody's on there. All the influencers are on there. Your friends are on there. Everybody loves Instagram, but will it suffer the same fate as Facebook? Once everybody comes to Facebook, when everyone leaves Facebook for Instagram, which is what I basically think is gonna happen, well, what happens then? Then does Instagram become just for old people too? And then people leave Instagram for whatever's next? I don't know what that's gonna be, or maybe it won't happen, I don't know. But my point is you don't wanna be dependent on any one platform. You don't wanna build your business on the back of somebody else's business because if Facebook gets fucked, if their business goes down the toilet, or this is very likely to happen, the government is probably going to regulate Facebook in a way that it's going to make it harder for us to use it as a marketing tool. So if your business is completely dependent on the success of one of these marketing platforms, you are going to have a big fucking problem. So that's the point of this video, is to let you know, I think these problems are coming for Facebook and Instagram. People are not talking about this. They're talking about the short-term problems, like I mentioned, like these scandals and the, you know, like the nerdy stuff about like lack of ad inventory. They're talking about all the short-term stuff, but nobody is talking about about 3 or 5 years from now, what's gonna happen to Facebook and Instagram. I'm telling you guys about this because I want you to be prepared for it. Everyone else is gonna get caught by surprise by this, but because you have me and my magic marketing crystal ball, you guys are gonna be prepared for it. So basically what I want you to do is have other options for promoting yourself that are not dependent on Facebook. So there's a couple ways you can do that. The two that I would recommend, depending on what you're interested in, depending on what product you sell or what you're good at, number one would be an email list. If you have a product that you're selling, I absolutely think you need an email list. Email is an incredibly effective marketing tool for products. For a band, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I'm sure somebody makes it work, but it's kind of weird. But that's option number one, is build an email list. As far as how you do that, that is a whole other topic that I'm gonna get into in another video. But if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. Tell me that you want to know more about how to build an email list and how to use that email list to sell your shit. And then number two is build a presence on some other platform that Facebook doesn't own. And in my opinion, the best one for that right now is what you're watching right now is YouTube, because YouTube, as you know, is owned by Google, and YouTube exists in a completely different universe. While Facebook is kind of struggling, YouTube is just getting more and more relevant. I think YouTube, along with Netflix, are essentially going to replace TV. So this is a great place for you to build an audience. If you're in a band, this is an absolute no-brainer. You need to be crushing it on YouTube. If you have a product, if you're selling your art, something like that, you know, it could be a fit. It kind of depends on you and the nature of what you sell. But one of those two things I would recommend that you invest in, either an email list or YouTube, one or possibly both of those things, so that if the shit hits the fan with Facebook and or Instagram, you are not gonna get fucked. And then one other thing that you guys just need to understand, organic reach on Facebook is dead. Like, everyone complains that like their followers don't see their stuff and blah, 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 blah. Deal with it. That's just the way it is. Facebook is pay to play now. Instagram is gonna become the same thing for sure. Like, the way Facebook does things, they did this with like page likes, they did it with video, they've done it with, they do this all the time. They did it with Facebook Live. What they do is they get you to, they basically get you addicted to these features. They're like a drug dealer. So like with video, they made videos have just insane reach, right? And they did the same thing with Facebook Live. They get you addicted to this thing. Like they get you to invest all this time and money into building up your page likes, into building up your emphasis on Facebook video, and then they shut it off and they make you pay for it, just like the drug dealer, right? That's what Facebook does. That's what they're doing with Instagram right now. Like right now, as you've probably seen, if you're putting stuff out on Facebook and on Instagram, you're getting way better engagement on Instagram, I would guess. That's great. Like, use it while it lasts, but don't expect it to last. It's not going to. They're gonna put the smackdown on that too. You're gonna have to pay to reach everybody on Instagram. That's just the world we live in. Like, if you can get organic free reach now, go for it, but don't expect that to last. You're going to have to pay to reach your people. That's just the way it is. So don't complain about it, just accept it. If you believe in your shit, you should invest in it. Like, if you don't think that what you're doing is worth investing in, well, then I would question, why are you even doing it? And again, if you want to know more about how to do this, about how to run Facebook ads, I do have those 2 articles, which I'm going to link to in the description. There you go, guys. That is my little marketing crystal ball. Now you know the future of what I think is going to happen to Facebook and Instagram over the next coming years, and you are prepared to deal with it. I hope you found that helpful, informational, and maybe even a little bit entertaining. If you did, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. That's the #1 thing I would love for you to do. If you have already subscribed, or for some bizarre, strange reason you don't want to subscribe, at least like the video, share it, leave a comment, whatever you can do to help spread the word would be very, very much appreciated. And with that, I'm going to sign off for now, but I will see you next time.